So thanks so much for joining us today on the Rugby World Cup edition of Tunnel Talk, Marlie. We're going to take some time to get to know you and your teammates a little bit better and chat about the thing that everyone's talking about at the moment, which is the Rugby World Cup in New Zealand. So first of all, we'll start with 30 seconds of quick fire questions to get to know you. You ready?
Okay. Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, birthplace.
Yeovil.
Current location.
Bristol.
Middle name.
Murray.
First position you ever played at.
That's a tough one, but I'd say hooker.
Okay. Career highlights so far.
I've got a few of them, but the semi-final of the 2000 World Cup, that was just a really special moment on the field where you just knew you were part of a special team. So that, and then to obviously go on and win it is a highlight. To help England qualify Team GB for the first time to ever play in an Olympics and help them make their, obviously it was disappointing at the end for me because I didn't make the plane to go to Rio, but to go there and watch the girls play and support them was still a very career highlight. And then I think just since 2017, joining Saracens, winning back-to-back league titles, that's pretty special. And then this season, winning the Six Nations how we did, and the league is up there with my highlights. I've been playing rugby for a long time now, so there's quite a few highlights in there, but you know, I just enjoy what I do.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. That's brilliant. So many memories. And now your biggest achievement outside of rugby?
My son, Oliver.
Okay, brilliant. So before we go straight into talking about the World Cup, I actually wanted to touch on who you just mentioned there, Oliver, your son, who was born in 2020. So how has it been balancing motherhood and professional rugby?
It's quite easy, at the same time it's hard. Like Oliver's just perfect, so it's really nice balance, like to come back and switch off and from like training and stuff. I think before, my rugby lifestyle balance wasn't right, and I found it hard to switch off from rugby when I came home. And I'd be either watching training, over playing stuff, overthinking stuff like nutrition, balance and things like that. Whereas, you know, being with Oliver when I get back is like, I don't think about that kind of stuff. Like, obviously I do my analysis, I make sure my nutrition is right, but you know, when it's Oliver time, that's all you've got in the front, like in your head. And you know, playing with him in the garden, to you know, trying to potty train him, to you know, taking him to Peppa Pig World for his second birthday, they're the bits that I enjoy the most, and he gets my undivided attention then.
Yeah, a world away from rugby, which is great.
Yeah.
And how will it work with the World Cup? Obviously being away for kind of over 6 weeks or more, will your family travel over with Oliver to watch you play in New Zealand?
So Oliver's not coming to New Zealand, but fortunately for me, my brother, my mum and my granddad, they'll all be out there. So my brother and my granddad are going to come out for the full stint in Travel New Zealand, which is super cool. And my granddad's 85, so he's not that young, so but he's doing it, and it makes me really happy that they're coming out, not just to watch me in the World Cup, but for them to go out and enjoy and see New Zealand. My brother reminds me that now, because obviously I played in 3 World Cups, if I go to New Zealand, that actually he's come and watched every game of me playing a World Cup and never missed one. So he reminds me that on a regular basis. So I think I owe him something.
I'll move on now to the 2021 World Cup, obviously playing in 2022, but just so the viewers know, you watched the 2010 World Cup final, if I'm not wrong, at the Twickenham Stoop.
Yes.
Between England and New Zealand. And you said at the time, I'm going to play in the next one as a player. And then you obviously were there playing for your country in the next 2 World Cup finals, which says everything about you. But playing both those World Cup finals, very contrasting experiences. Can you tell us firstly about the experience of winning it in 2014?
I think, like I said, like a highlight of my career was that World Cup semi-final in 2014. And, you know, we played Ireland. They'd come off the back of a great tournament. They beat New Zealand in the pool games, which knocked New Zealand out. We obviously drew our last game against Canada. So to meet them again in the final, we needed to make sure we did the job and got the job. But first and foremost, we had to play Ireland in the semi. And just, you looked around this squad. I was on the bench, I came off the bench, and you just looked around the squad and you just knew it was a very like special time. Like, everyone believed in everyone. was just very, for me, I was very young, so I roomed with Alex Matthews. We were both very young. We were like the free spirit kids, if you kind of get it. Like, we were just there having a good time. We didn't think too much about it, and then suddenly we were in a World Cup final, and I think I got hurled off the pitch at 60 minutes because I'd given away 3 penalties, which give Canada all their 9 points. But apart from that, it was a really good final. And, you know, in the aftermath of the final and what it did for women's rugby at the time, like we were on the back of national papers when we got back, and, you know, you've seen a real rise in participation and girls wanting to get involved. So then fast forward in 4 years, and the World Cup was over in Ireland. We had a good run into it. We won the Six Nations Grand Slam running in, which we didn't do in 2014. We lost to France over in France. Then we played in the summer tour, which was another really successful tournament for us. We went over to New Zealand. We beat Australia. I think it was Australia, France and New Zealand. I can't remember the teams, but the last game was against New Zealand, and we got the win over in Rotorua, and it was just a really special time. And it's probably a highlight again of one of my rugby career, just to play rugby, because the Lions tour was running alongside it. They had a match after us, just to buzz around the stadium and all of that. So we came off the back of that. So then we were prepared for the World Cup in 2017 in Ireland, and I think we had a winning streak of 18 games. And we played the World Cup, and we got the results we wanted. We were really building into this final. It was everything was in our hands, but on the day, New Zealand were the better team, and we went in at halftime, and we knew we were on top and we needed to keep doing. But actually, for me, I don't think what we did realise, well, that they were picking and going, and actually that was a bit of our Achilles heel. And they managed to I think beat us with that a little bit. On the day the better team won, I think, but it's a game of rugby, you win and lose, and, you know, I've put that to bed, and it's about this World Cup, and, you know, we're on the bounce of how many games winning. We've got a very talented squad. We've got a lot of young players coming up through that are pushing us older players to be better, and giving us real drive and purpose to what our goal is. Obviously, every player's got their own goals and drivers, but, you know, we're all, that end game is we want to be in that World Cup final and we want to win it.
Brilliant. Okay, and we're just going to move on to lastly some quick fire questions to finish off.
Okay.
Right, before we'll do some general ones and then some ones about your teammates.
Okay.
So, okay, coffee, yes or no?
No.
Really don't like coffee?
No, I'm a tea drinker, and I have caffeine gum. I love caffeine gum, but just not coffee.
Okay, interesting. Barbecue or roast dinner?
Oh, barbecue. That's a hard one.
Messy or neat freak?
Depends. My roomie is saying messy, but I'm actually a neat freak at home.
Are you early, on time, or late?
I'm usually early to on time, but a little bit recently that's been slipping. But I'm like, there's certain things I don't like being late for, and it really stresses me out. But recently it's slid a little. Okay.
Socks and sandals, yes or no?
No.
Best meal that you cook?
Oh, there's a few. Like, I don't know, chicken wrapped in Parmesan ham, and then like veg and something. That's not my go-to meal.
Yeah, nice. Your favorite film?
Die Hard, but most recently I watched the new Top Gun, so it's a bit hard between them two. Okay, and this is a bit of a tricky one, but in 2 words, how would your teammates describe you? How my team? That's a tough one. I'm just gonna say Party Packer. Nice. Okay, and then we've got some more specific ones by your England teammates. So, teammate that you would put your life in the hands of. Oh wow, my life, Natasha Hunt. All right, I've got to ask why. I don't know. She's just been like with me through thick and thin for a lot of years. Like, my England career has been long, which has been really good. But like, I started playing with Mo at Bath, and we've just had a friendship that's gone on. And you know, I might not speak to her outside of rugby sometimes, but if I pick up the phone, I know she'll always be there for me. And like, I've got a very close group of friends that are like that, and I'm terrible at replying or texting people, but you know, I know if I ever ring them that they'll be there for me, and she's a massive one of them.
Teammate that you have the biggest laugh with?
Probably Alex Matthews. We have lots of personal inside jokes. Also, Alex Matthews would be, I'd put my life in her hands as well. So actually it's Mo and Alex, sorry.
Okay, no problem, that's fair enough. Who's the teammate you'd go traveling with?
I'd say Alex Matthews, because we've already done it.
The teammate that you'd save the world with?
I think me and Poppy would be quite good at that, because we're quite savvy in what we do, and we like on the pitch we're quite good at reading each other. So I think like to save the world, you need a bit of that, don't you?
You absolutely do. Okay, cool. And then we're going to just describe these teammates in one word.
Okay.
Okay. So Sarah Byrne.
Little rhino.
Amy Cockayne.
Joker. With Hannah Bottom, and when they're together, they're just both jokers constantly at the moment.
Right. Sarah Hunter.
Just a leader.
Zoe Harrison.
Zoe, this is hard, you know. Zoe Harrison. What would I describe Zoe Harrison? She likes it her way. And she'll tell you if she's not happy about it.
Yeah, typical fly half. Zoe Oldcroft.
Just a workhorse. I don't know, is that nice to call her a horse? I don't know. Yeah, she's just incredible.
I think that's a compliment, yeah. And lastly, Abby Ward.
How can you describe Abby? She's just on it, like, you know, she knows her stuff.
Amazing. Well, they're all of my quick fire questions. Sorry to put you to the test there.
That's all right. They did put me to the test as well, to be fair.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining us for this Rugby World Cup edition of Tunnel Talk, Marlie, and best of luck for the World Cup.
Thank you very much, Lucy. Take care.